A constant pillar of the vintage metagame. Bug ebbs and flows with the power of Mishra's Workshop, and right now might be the perfect time to sleeve up those collector roofs. And of course, Psychic Frog, it's back again. Welcome back, vintage gamers, to a donation deck list. A very real competitive deck today. Just recently had a couple good challenge top 4 finishes. Bug, the old fair prison-y creature-based deck in vintage. Deathrite Shaman being the linchpin that allows you to do a kind of a mana denial plan with Wasteland while still powering out threats. We've got a nice big boost to Bug in the form of Psychic Frog. This card is, as you probably already know by now, very, very good. This is a blue creature that gives this deck a draw engine that it did not have before. Also ends the game very quickly. Pitches to force, all the good stuff. So I've taken a winning Bug list and I made just some slight changes. I fixed the mana base so that it didn't have the flooded strands that didn't get the Bayou. Switched around some removal spells to have a little bit of an option here. I'm not sure which one is better. We'll take a look as we go today. Maybe we'll find out. Cut Bowmaster just because I don't really like Bowmaster as a card, but it's totally a reasonable choice here. Instead of Bowmaster, I'm going to play a Loam, and I'm also going to play an Energy Flux in the main. I've always really liked Energy Flux in the main of Bug. It kind of shores up some of the weaknesses of the deck, in my opinion, and it's not typically going to be a dead card. Because when they don't have artifacts, and not actually very many decks in Vintage don't have artifacts, pitches to Force of Will, and now also pitches to Psychic Frog. So you can still get some value off of this card if it doesn't actually help you there. We got some Okos and some Leovolds. You could always, of course, cut Oko and Leovold and play Lurrus. There are certainly versions of Lurrus Deathrite Shaman that exist right now. Some have Saga, some don't have Saga. Lots of different ways to play within this kind of, very much Collector Oof-centric shell. Collector Oof, a very powerful card in Vintage, shutting down all artifacts on a creature. Still very good. You'll notice there are less negations and vigors than normal, I would say. I think some point in time we had 2 negations, 2 vigors, and 4 Force of Wills. That's kind of a direct effect of Vexing Bauble being played in the format. Not that Vexing Bauble is an overwhelming presence or it's too good of a presence, but the fact that it gets played means you want to hedge your bets a little bit and have more spells that cost mana. That's Nature's Claim as well. I do have a Consign to Memory in here. This card is picking up some steam in Vintage, which I'm a little sad about because it's very good against Thassa's Oracle and Doomsday. But being a split card that is decent against Doomsday and against Jewel, very, very powerful. And then the sideboard, a lot more of the same. You've got removal. Still have some Dredge, respect for Dredge with things like Cage and Endurance and Jailer. One more Flux for those pesky Workshop gamers. Some removal, maybe some Mirror Breakers as well. It should be fun. Should be a good league. Thanks to Mitchell for donating to see this deck played. If you want to see your deck list played on the channel, make sure to check out the Patreon link in the description below. I'll see you in round 1. Are you interested in weekly vintage metagame recommendations? Do you want to see your deck list played on my channel? Or maybe you are just looking for the best way to support my vintage content. Make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description below. Let's battle. All right, welcome gamers. Round 1 with the Bug Life. I've got 3 Deathrite Shamans and a Mox. I assume this is just a mulligan. Just assume this doesn't do enough. Like, we have no payoff at all. I've never seen a hand like this, but I'm just going to assume it's a mulligan, and we're going to go to 6. My 6 card of hand, of course, has no mana, but a lot more powerful cards. Let's go to 5. And then this hand is good. This hand is black mana off of Black Lotus and just play all of our cards. I kind of like, if I want to use full value off of this Black Lotus, I have to put the Wasteland away, crack for black, and then use this for blue, and play Shaman, Shaman, Frog. I could, of course, lose a Shaman to keep a Wasteland in hand. Probably not interested in this. We do need to hope that our... we need to hope that our Frog resolves no matter what here. I can't seem to put anything on the bottom. I'm gonna go with double Shaman instead of keeping Waste. So let's play a Black Lotus, see if it resolves. Obviously, if this gets countered, then there's some things to be said there too. Let's see if we can get a Deathrite countered. I'm not gonna play. I guess I'll play around. I guess I can't play around Mindbreak Trap really, unless I played Frog second. And I kind of wanted to throw this in there and see if there was any kind of counter magic we could draw out. Doesn't seem like that's the case. And then I need to make sure I fetch a land that produces blue. I would assume blue, black. Look at my lands for a second. Yeah, let's go with blue, black. And last card, Frog. So if this gets forced, we're not much worse off than our starting hand. All right, not bad. Everything resolved. Do we die? I've deployed all 5 of my magic cards. What say you, opponent? Mox Sapphire. Ancestral Recall. Seems good. 7-card hand. Double Mox. Ancestral. Can't imagine we can ever win this game, but definitely wish I had a Wasteland for that Urza's Saga. Vexing Bauble. Don't care too much about that. Collector Roof off the top is game winning, though, because it just is. I can exile 1 land, so I might as well attack with 2 here. Looking for a Wasteland or a Collector Roof. We found an Emerald. Emerald does not pitch, or does not cast Psychic Frog, so we're just going to play another Frog and hope that that's good enough, because we don't have much else going on here. Can't play this Emerald into the Bauble anyways, so we'll probably get ditched to a Frog if the Bauble stayed in play. Obviously, the Bauble gets cracked because it's not doing anything. So now we get to beat Construct tokens. We can make Frogs fly, theoretically, but we don't have the mana or the cards in Yard to really do that. So we are pretty much lost to just Construct tokens from this spot. Again, like I said, I could have kept Wasteland instead of a Frog. It's just a very poor use of my mana. And I don't really feel like Wasteland is getting us out of the situation anyways. Our opponent simply kept 7 and resolved Ancestral Recall versus our 5 on the play. Yeah. We do need to try to figure out exactly what our opponent is playing. With the Brainstorm, we can assume it's not Jewel. Very likely some kind of Tinker deck. Could be Initiative Tinker. Collector Roof is still a really good draw. What is this? Ah, so it is Initiative Tinker. Okay. I don't know if playing a Seasoned Engineer is better than just making a construct there. I kind of like the idea of make a construct there, but what do I know? I have 2 cards I can pitch to Frog, which does not kill this Seasoned Engineer. I don't have a basic in my deck to get with the dungeon, which is quite fun. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely... I guess what we can just do is we can just pitch both these things to one of these Frogs and fly. And then from there, we have to hope that that draws us into Collector Roof or Wasteland again. But actually, Collector Roof we can't cast if we pitch both of these things because there's no lands in the yard. All of these plans are quite bad. Of course, as a bug player, I did draw all, or 3 out of 4 of my Moxen, which is classic. I'm not really racing here either. pump the frog that gets blocked. I don't really like that play very much. If I could kill the engineer, that'd be fine, but yeah, I don't think maximize damage here is the play. I think Deathray Shamans are much more valuable in play. Like I do the same, I do less damage, right? Because like I can eat with my Deathrite Shaman. What are you talking about? Am I crazy here? Like I just did 3 damage instead of 3 damage, and now I can eat and deal 2 damage. So aren't you just throwing away a creature for no reason? I guess I might need to eat in response in case there's a needle. Just eat this Ancestral now. Sure. I don't think so. I don't think anything truly matters from this spot. I can't imagine we ever win, but sure, I could fly next turn, but is that really better? I mean, might deal 1 more damage. Yeah, all right, we're just dead. My opponent had far too much power in their hand, which is what happens when your opponent casts Ancestral and you don't. But that's also kind of what happens when opponent doesn't have a force in hand for your frog, right? They're going to have some kind of other power. I think we're just dead on board, right? This goes to 5, and then they go to 5 to 11 to 6, plus an unblockable construct. We're actually just dead on board. That's fun. All right, next game. So this is Initiative Tinker. Kind of an odd deck to board for. I have no idea how you want to board for this deck. This deck just like plays a random smattering of cards that are not super cohesive. Let's see if I can find the True Hero list. Well, it's not this list because there aren't even any Seasoned Engineers in this list, which is quite funny. Maybe an older list has some creatures. Okay, hear about maybe this one. Oh, that's an interesting one. White Plume, Frog. I mean, if they have Frog, then I definitely would rather have some Fatal Pushes. Maybe there's just 1 Seasoned Engineer. All right, let's, I think we would rather attack the creature plan than artifacts or anything like that. On the play, like how good is Daze and Negation? Like, their only card that's a spell that matters is Tinker, right? It's just Tinker Twister. Feel like I would rather just have... Would I have a Flusterstorm? Decay, Trophy, Daze... all the removal plus the high power. Obviously, this stuff gets hit by Bobble, but again, don't know if I care too much about that. I don't know if I'd want to bring in Grist here, though. Definitely still like Oof. I still like Loam. Still like Leovold and Oko. Let's try this. Though, like a lot of our cards have some amount of versatility because my opponent's playing 2 different kind of game plans here. Seems fine. I feel like Grist is like going too far. Like, there's always a world where my opponent's only playing, like, 3 White Plumes and a Seasoned Engineer. Like, that was a build for a while. We don't know exactly how many creatures they have in their deck. Like, they can have as little as 4 and as many as 12, maybe. It's kind of hard to tell. Seems fine, though. Have a Force. Can Wasteland a Saga or something. Like, okay, sure. Lots of power from the opponent. I can't say that I'm unhappy that Tinker does not exist as a huge metagame presence anymore, because it definitely made for some lopsided games. Sure, yeah. That's fine. 4 cards in hand, and they know my hand. They're gonna play around Deathrite Shaman by not using their strand. That's fine. Draw Leo. Probably just starting with a Time Walk here. Could always technically Wasteland and then play a Frog if we really wanted to. There's certainly some value in something like that. Let's just Time Walk, though. If they want to counter Time Walk, that's fine. That's a very low value target. We are certainly behind, though. Just not as much power. They're definitely debating a Time Walk. What would they... I mean, like, what would they have? Don't think I can attack with the Zephyr Shaman in case my opponent, like, flashes a Hull Breacher in. She's definitely within range. Fetch land is great. Loam. I guess we can attack wasteland this thing. If they don't get a basic, we can loam back our wasteland and replay it. And then next turn we could dredge loam. We could always wasteland just to get a frog in play. We could just hold it, and that gives us the ability to fatal push something. All of these things have some amount of versatility. I'm down to wait. Don't really believe in... I guess if they fetch a basic, then I won't have a target, and I won't be able to fatal push. Wait, what? I'm gonna wait. I still think I need to use this on Saga if they have a Saga. Okay, they had Vamp. That makes sense. What are they gonna Vamp for? Tinka? Seasoned Engineer? I mean, normally you'd go Tinker, but you do have to crack your Bauble for that. But I guess they can Tinker and then crack the Bauble after, and then we would have to draw like Assassin's Trophy or something. Could be good. Not much we can do. We don't have our... I boarded out some of our harder counter magic. Yeah, I still think I'm supposed to hold. I guess they could even hard cast Citadel if they had a land. Just Ancestral. Sure. Smack up to 6 cards. Tundra. Yeah. I don't know. Where's my Ancestral? Agreed. Did I register it? Probably. I mean, opponent has all the agency in this game. They got to look at my hand, tutor for their best card. Draw another 3 cards has been called. Oh, I wish I could have got this Leovold in play, but... Alright. They can't crack this Bauble, which means my Leovold will resolve for whatever that's worth. I guess we'll just eat. Draw. I do need to draw land to play Leovold still, though. They draw the land. Could double waste. Might even just be better. Not sure. Nope. Vintage is in a great spot. Vintage is one of the best spots of all Magic formats right now. Fetch land. So I won't bring back the Loam. Just try to get a Leovold in play here. I immediately drew a Jet. My Bauble. Let's eat another Underground Sea. For blue. This will be green, blue. Not really sure how the fetching there works, but so they have to have either crack a bauble, and they're gonna crack a bauble. Sure. I guess they can't crack a bauble once there's a Leovold in play. I don't know about this card, guys. Now, how does Force Back seem to look here? I feel like Force Back is kind of bad here. I don't know if it's actually bad, but it feels bad. I'm gonna go with my gut instinct there. Basic plains. Plays around our wasteland in our yard with our loam. Saga. This is part of the reason why I was interested in maybe holding forest. Like, I need a loam here, this wasteland. It looks fine. Swords on my Deathrite Shaman is fine. All right. Dredge Loam. Loam. 3 lands. Just snap resolves. Wasteland your Saga. Your move. I mean, I'm really happy I put Loam in my deck. I can tell you that much. This card is so unreal. Is this a Dungeoneer? Now this is an interesting spot. I think I'd just like to force it. And then loam again. Strip them again. And if they force back, then I still can kill it. It's not very good, though. But I could just play a frog, let it hit me once. Not even attack their mana anymore. Might just be better. Oh, we have basic island, right? They did have basic island. Blue card is probably my best draw, so I can have a force backup. Oko? Oko could attack right now. Don't like that as much as I like play a frog and hold up push. Oh, maybe not hold up push. Maybe it's just push now. In case they have like Fluster or Pierce or something. Runs into negation, but I think that's probably fine. It doesn't mean they get to just go down the Lost Well for free. They can have hard cast negation. They have 5 cards in hand. Lots of interesting ways to play this out. Not sure. Everything's just resolving though. All right, I have a frog in play. They have a Lost Well. They have 4 mana here. I have a force. I do still have Lone Wasteland, but we're a little past Lone Wasteland now with the 2 basics coming into play. They went top bottom on this scribe. Yeah, I don't really have a problem with Oko push either. Another one. I'd like to just force this. I'm like still worried about the whole fluster thing, but they had force. Interesting. Or maybe they just drew force. So what I would like to do here is this resolves. It goes down stash. We loam, and then we cast loam to get a wasteland for Saga, and then we just go in with this frog. Seems fine. It's kind of what we're doing now anyways. Dredge loam. I didn't hit a land there. Oh, I guess I could just pitch the land and bring it back. So I can just pitch this land, and then I can go loam my lands, and then attack with frog. If they block, do I care? I'd rather they didn't. I have enough to fly twice, so let's discard, and then eat frog, vigor. Hit them. Initiative doesn't do anything for us. They don't have swords as their last card, do they? I mean, I'm not beating that, so I'm not gonna beat blue card force swords here. And I wasteland their Saga, and I hope that my next attack wins. I don't have a basic still. I could dredge loam. Does that help me? Oh, so I should have I could have wastelanded pre-combat, and then I could have dredged loam here. But now I'm better off just drawing a random card. I don't even have Time Walk to draw to, though. Oh, that's definitely a shit card. But I don't really need more cards to win. This is winning by itself. Even if they steal the initiative back, it's just Catacombs. They need to draw swords on this. Looks like... I guess I could Time Walk or something. No reason to loam here. We already have a lethal frog. Might as well just draw. Attack. Make it fly. Discard. Discard. Yeah. Loam frog. Very nice. Love it. That's definitely what I would be doing if I was playing Bug. I love this. Very, very painful. So we didn't see frogs on their side, right? All we saw was... We saw basic plains, basic island, which makes me think there are less creatures than initially thought. I still don't really like the idea of bringing in this kind of counter magic, though. But Force of Vigor might be worse than just playing claims. If they're gonna, like, maybe they're on like a 4 bobble list. We did see bobble again. The status looks pretty bad on the draw, though, so maybe we play something else. Maybe we will play the Grist anyways. Like, we're running out of things I really want to play. I guess I could get a Fluster in there. What do they cast this game? Still don't feel like they cast things I wanted to Fluster. Like, obviously, if they cast Tinker, I want to... I mean, they did play Lorien Revealed. Maybe we just play a Fluster. I just feel like it's not what that's there for. Force, turn 1, frog, or oof. Yeah, keep. All right. How much power this time? Or is it Saga? Oh. Looks like it'll be turn 1, oof. Ah, no. Wait, or is it Saga Bobble? That means you can't make constructs. Confused. I don't really get it, but... Okay. Just vanishing land. Unless they have ancient tombs in their deck, that I wouldn't suspect they'd have ancient tombs in their deck, but just pass. I mean, that means we just get to resolve an oof. I guess theoretically they can just have the swords right away. Is there any reason I would brainstorm here though? So I could get value off of my delta, get rid of this one card. Getting rid of a jet makes sense, especially if I'm playing oof. So let's do a brainstorm. Could start with a time walk here. Though time walk gets better with my other cards in play. I just feel like they have a swords, right? And if they have a swords, then isn't it better to play a Leovold? I still think I'm just supposed to play an oof. This also locks them underneath Bobble if they don't crack their Bobble in response and it resolves, and they don't have a swords. Okay, so that means they probably have a swords, right? It's highly unlikely they would just let this resolve if they... I mean, they could have no force, no swords. They just have swords, okay. I mean, I feel like I had that read, but... my only other option was what? Time walk and play Leovold first? There's some value to that for sure. Maybe they'll crack their Bobble after we brainstormed a bad card away. No. This is the only card in my hand that does matter for Bobble, but it is a powerful card right now. I assume they're just going to get like a Black Lotus and play a Dungeoneer. And then from there, we have options. I'm more just like trying to restrict like their ability to play this next turn out. Like obviously Oko is like powerful onto the board as it doesn't get hit by swords, but like they might also not have swords, in which case like oof is the highest value thing to stop them from doing powerful things. Well, I just can't ever have force up if they don't crack the Bobble. So if you want me to Oko the Bobble, I don't really subscribe to that idea. I don't really want to give them creatures. A lot of this game is going to come down to like attacking and taking the initiative and things like that. The reason I would like theoretically maybe play Oko instead of like time walking and playing Leovold instead of playing oof is that Leovold will also stop my opponent from doing like brainstorm with a fetch on their turn. Ancestral, you know, get a Lotus off of Saga and play Lorien revealed. A lot of their most powerful plays. I think like giving them an Elk to turn on Force of Will is not a very good trade. You don't have a white mana, right? Oh, they do have a Hold Reacher though. Interesting. All right. So they probably have Twister in their deck. I like... What do I like? Do I like Oko turn off Hull Breacher? Do I like Leovold pass? They have to remove Leovold to Twister. Do I like Time Walk, get a 4th mana, hit their white source, and play a Oko or something. Yeah. Yeah, I do think I'm going to... So if I play... I'm going to play a Strip Mine, and I'm going to cast Time Walk uncounterably. I'm going to go to my next turn. Probe is real bad here, like super bad. It's like almost the worst possible. But I guess I can turn this off at some point, so... We'll play out Arboseiju. I'm going to play out Oko. Just the safest. And then I'm going to Elk this Hull Breacher. And I'm going to Wasteland their white source. Still have good follow-ups from this spot, too. Jet. Vamp. Okay. I'm going to crack Bobble to draw it. Wait, what? So my opponent vamped and had the Ancestral in hand. All right, I guess I'm regretting not playing Leovold. And so then what do they draw? Saga off of it? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly good. Definitely punishes me for playing my Boseiju and my Strip Mine. Oh, we're in deep shit now. We're so screwed now. I'm going to say Ancestral Vamp is not something I had in mind from here, but well, it's still winnable, but maybe where are Collector Roofs actually? Could use a Collector Roof from this spot. I mean, they just have to attack Oko. We don't care because Oko doesn't care about creatures. Very fair. We have drawn multiple forces, though. Of course, we could always turn off the Bauble, like suggested. Demonic Tutor? Is this going to be like Vault Key? Is that what's happening? Another Saga is a totally reasonable tutor target here. I kind of feel like it's a Vault Key. We do have a negation. And we can also turn off Bauble if we really think that's necessary. We'll lose our Oko, though. I mean, what else are you DTing for here that's not Saga? It's Time Vault, right? And so if it's Time Vault, I need to be able to counter Time Vault. So I guess I just have to lose my Oko and Elk this Bauble, and then I get at least free Probe. Obviously, they can crack in response because it's a Leovold. No, just Elk. All right, show me the secrets. I think I played this game poorly. So they have Twister. So okay, so at least I played around Twister. They do have Black Lotus Time Vault Lorien revealed. So what we'll do from here is hold open double force. Gonna have to lose our Oko probably. My opponent played this game very aggressively, but if you have enough power, I guess that's fine. They can even make a construct because they have Black Lotus. Yeah, he definitely want to use this negation. So 1-for-1, and it will exile it, so I can't get like Yogg Willed or something. Oh, I just got rid of Lorien instead of Time Vault by accident. So they still have Lorien, Twister in hand. So I can't block with this Leovold. If they send both of these at Oko, I just have to let Oko die. I mean, I could force it, but I don't want to. I have to try to play this game without Oko, which seems still doable. We have a Frog. So they have Twister, Lorien in hand. Both of those cards are dead. But they do have a Manifold Key, though, I need to be aware of. And then they have one unknown that they drew for turn. And we have Leovold, so they can't Twister Lorien. Okay. All right, well, we have some good draws, I assume. Deathrite Shaman, does that count? I mean, the question becomes, do we need to hold open? They have another, they drew Hull Breacher for turn? Okay. I am minorly peeved, but that's okay. We have a hard cast force on this Hull Breacher, so they don't block our Leovold, so those cards are still dead in their hand. We lose a little bit of tempo here, but we do have a Deathrite Shaman active and a food token, and my opponent has 2 dead cards, so I think it's okay. 13 life, 19 life. Looks like they'll cycle. Makes sense. Just a Twister in hand that they can't cast unless they draw swords. And then it'll be both of us getting 7. Probably favors them slightly. Coming in for 6. Tie game. But we have a Deathrite and a Leo. Tabernacle? You brought in a Tabernacle? Alright. I guess so. Assassin's Trophy. Alright. First we attack with our Leovold. And then I think I like play Frog, play Deathrite, chump with Deathrite. Or I guess I could pitch to Deathrite. Oh, too late now. So I guess I could pitch to Frog if I wanted to. Maybe this is not using my mana well. I mean, this is not using their mana well. I can't believe they played a Tabernacle, but they have a much worse mana situation. They're going to not be able to play like half the cards they draw now. Like half the cards in their deck are 3 mana creatures. This is just crazy. Playing a Tabernacle in this matchup is crazy. Soul Ring. That fixes the mana problem. All right, so the last card is Time Twister, which they still can't cast. And they are also facing some threats. They're going to leave everything back. All right, that's fine with me. I'm going to pay for my dudes. Nature's Claim. Okay. And then I'm just going to hop this Frog. Which cards do I need the least? Spells. And then I'll probably pitch this Claim. Like, what am I covering on this Claim? They have exiled their Time Vault. So am I covering anything like major by having a claim? I guess I'm covering a Saga. Have that covered with trophy as well. I mean, they're the one on the clock. I can just let this go here. End of turn, eat with Deathrite. This is fine. Though they have solved their Tabernacle situation. I mean, they're almost just dead on board. We know their last card is a Twister. They still can't cast it unless they top deck immediately. Top deck Swords. Yeah, I mean, it was a little weird for sure. They top deck Swords. All right, maybe I'll draw. Well, that's that's notably bad for me. I guess we're going Twistering. So I guess these all get pitched to the Frog, right? Which is quite good for me. Except for maybe I trophy something. Oh my god, what if I had trophied that in response? Did they still have enough? I just clicked through it, but... I'm just going to discard everything to the Frog. I'm going to leave... I'm going to float at least a blue. And then I'm going to eat... Oko... Claim... I didn't think they were going to untap their Soul Ring, so I didn't even register that as a possibility. I just didn't think they would do that, but I mean, it makes it's just a really greedy play, but they kind of have to be. They are losing on board, so I drew a Dismember, and they drew a Black Lotus. Seems like fair, and they drew a Pearl. Yeah, I mean, I'm the one who threw this game. All I had to do was claim the Soul Ring in response to the key activation, but that's not how this worked. Stop it. Maybe I should have ate some of their swords with my Deathrite Shaman. TT? Well, they can't get Time Vault Key because it's exiled, so... But what do they get? A Swords on my Frog, and then this game gets hard? I mean, I have 3 minutes. I mean, this is just DT for Swords, right? I didn't draw Force. Opponent didn't respect most things, but I also just, like, didn't use my spell, so... Maybe they shouldn't respect it. Tinker? It's an elk. Sphinx. Okay. Pro green. Wait, doesn't actually save them, right? I mean, I was already beating this with just the frog. Maybe they have... I just need a DT for a Flusterstorm here. Or anything, really. Oh, I didn't bring in Flusterstorm. I see. I don't know then. I mean, I can't force. I don't have a blue card. I need this time walk. I mean, this is enough, right? It's gonna be fine. They have to block. I can just pitch 2 cards. I need to pitch 2. Oh, I thought they had swords, so I was like trying to... Okay. Oh, that's unfortunate. I didn't mean this to be this way, but all right, fine. Oh, they had force. Okay, sure. Gotta play faster here. Well, this is like a little bit better at doing other things. All right, now I have force. And I'm turning off their mana. All right, I got there. I didn't play that very well. I definitely did not play that very well. I don't think we had enough cards to go for lethal. Maybe with the Deathheart Shaman we had enough. I think we were 1 short. The small amount of math that I did not say that we had enough. I didn't think we had 3. Didn't we draw a card from Frog? I have 1 minute on my clock, chat. I mean, I played fine. I didn't play badly. I just didn't play optimally. Like, I'm not worked up about it. It's totally okay. We played like 85% or something. Frog can't fly. It's needled. Chat is struggling, though. All right, not bad. All right, round 2. But yeah, I think like the not claiming in response to stop a twister from happening for a turn is probably the thing that is the most egregious. This is a nice this is a nice hand because it's a turn 1 Death Knight Shaman and I get to hold up Spell Pierce off the Mox. They almost certainly had a basic in their deck. They had at least a basic island and a basic plains, unless they were both already in play. I probably am not supposed to get green-black here because if I oof, I don't have it. But I have Wasteland and Deathrite. Maybe it's fine. The heuristics of bug fetching are not something I know very much about. Oh, yeah. Ooh, so Lurrus with a bauble. Looking at my top card. Why? Wouldn't you want to look at your top card? I'm never cracking because of Wasteland, so you're just playing around that. Sure. I'm down to just jam it. All right. I mean, we're very far ahead in a fair matchup with my opponent being on Lurrus, so I'm pretty happy. We still have we still have a Oath and a Wasteland in hand, so we have some pretty solid pieces to lock them out of doing anything good. We might be able to counter something still. We are certainly hard representing a Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce, or Fatal Push, or Consign, based on the way we tap, but blue-black Bowmaster, blue-black Psychic Frog, that's fine. I can't exchange the Psychic Frog because they have 6 cards in hand. They can make a very large creature. We have some main deck removal for such a thing. We don't have much of a choice, though. How big you want to make your frog, friend? Oh, they're not going to make your frog big? That's surprising to me. If this oof resolves, no problem, then I'm okay with wastelanding. Maybe I can't wasteland because of Saga. I guess I can't wasteland because of Saga. Kind of annoying. Well, I actually don't have anything to eat either. Wait a second. I guess if I cast a spell, I will. But I do have an in-play Oko, so... I'm surprised they didn't pitch anything into this frog. I would at least have pitched 1 card. By pitching 1 card, you put a +1/+1 counter, and then your frog is always bigger than my elk. There's almost no chance that they had like no bad cards in hand where they shouldn't be at least pitching a single card to this. I'm like medium excited for Eternal Weekend. Wasteland of their own. Man, I don't know about you guys, but playing Bug puts me to sleep. I mean, no painting is like a big enough deal that I'm not, or it's like one of the reasons I'm not going to Japan, and it's not like going to stop me from going to Pittsburgh or Europe if I'm already in Europe for 4 seasons, but it's definitely a big deal. I have nothing to eat. How is that possible? I could eat a land. It's probably okay to eat a land. I have so many lands. I could just steal this elk instead. If I steal this elk, I open myself up to something like Bowmasters, though, and that just seems like a terrible idea. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see people for sure. I have to hold this Wasteland for Saga at this point. They're gonna have so much mana. What are they holding up? It's gotta be Bowmaster, right? Like what? No? Like wouldn't you buy Lurrus? I guess you could hold Negation or something. There are no paintings at Eternal Weekend this year. Hopefully that's an oversight and next year they'll come back, but we'll see what happens. No changes. You got the 8 foil cards. You got some cards that go down to 32 now. But yeah, so Eternal Weekend Europe will have extremely poor value. No. The top 8 are foil, like last year. I assume the top 8 also get the non-foil too, so they would get a foil and a non-foil. But I'm sure having there be non-foils reduces the value of the foils, so that's not fucking happening. Oh, excuse my language. That one is not happening. I am not allowing a brainstorm in my house. Okay, I'm allowing a brainstorm in my house. I don't know. Bug makes me a certain way. It's not my kind of magic, you know? But we're doing our best. We played a pretty cool game round 1, so that's something. Falling asleep at the wheel over here. It's kind of sad because like none of our plays are just powerful. I guess the loam frog play was pretty powerful in bug terms. They have 4 cards left. And they kept a bobble after shuffling and fetching? Huh? What? All right. I'm gonna be exiling. Frog is great. Pretty far ahead in this game. Mox Sapphire. Get in there. Mox Sapphire is green. True. I mean, it's not 50 cents for them to print. That's not how that works. They commission an artist. But I do agree that it's not a large amount of money, and that if like the money was an issue, they should just have it come out of the entry fee to keep it going. I mean, there was a big backlash on Twitter. There was a very large backlash on Twitter, but whether that got to the right people, whether the right people care, who knows? I'm been a little bit disconnected and stepped back from Vintage for the last couple of weeks, so don't know. So what do we want in this matchup? We want grinding cards. We want like Grist. We want endurance maybe. Maybe not. Kind of like the idea of Nature's Claim, depending on how combo oriented there are. I kind of like the idea of Dismember. I don't know how good Flux is. Could be good. Spellpierce on the draw doesn't seem very good. Consign doesn't seem very good. I mean, like people brought it up, so I would hope that, you know, I mean, there were some big threats from me, from Brian, but who knows? I mean, I don't know who the contracting manager for Eternal Weekend is. No. Don't know how I would find that out either. Like, I assume there is someone in play, organized play, that is in charge of Eternal Weekend, but do we know who that is? No. I even if they wanted to fix it, I don't believe they would fix it this year. So like, it's not, you don't just like commission a painting and have it appear out of nowhere. It's not how that works. Or at least in an instant, I should say. It is kind of how it works, but it's not instantaneous, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure commissioning the 6 paintings is a non-zero amount of dollars. However, it's kind of a big deal. And I'm sure people are willing to pay more for entry fee if that's the case. But who knows? You used to. You will not this year. It was pretty great prize because it's extremely memorable for the people who are, you know, well off and are playing it as a hobby. It's a big, you know, trophy memorabilia piece. You get to keep it and think about it for the rest of your life. For the people who don't have as much money, they can sell it for usually 5 figures. So it was basically the perfect kind of prize. But I say that, but then again, Secret Lair and these promo cards are also a pretty perfect prize where it's very easy for them to print them. They're worth lots of money, but even then, people made a huge shitstorm about the Gen Con issue where there was a lot of collusion and people buying stakes in each other to get all the, you know, high percentage chance of getting the percentage of the card and some wild stuff happening. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I don't know. I don't think that's a real. I don't find that to be a compelling reason not to do it. So yeah, such is life. Leovold. All right, we'll go fetch land, Jets. I had another opening hand with Mox, by the way. What is it like being a bug player? Being a bug player is crazy. You just automatically get a Mox in all of your opening hands. Yeah, I mean the promos are good. I like the promos. I think the promos were a great addition. I wouldn't want just the promos. It doesn't seem like the promos hold enough value to justify what's going on. Anyways, I don't know. It's like kind of a moot point because I don't really play Eternal Weekend for the value. I play it because it's Eternal Weekend and I want to win. But it is definitely part of why I want to win. Just like the painting and the having the trophy. So, you know, a little here, a little there. All right, we're gonna play a 3-drop this turn, which I like a lot. Let's play this out to play around days. Oh, and then fetch for a blue, green, black. I don't know. I still don't know. I'd like to get a Leovold in play. And then I'll strip mine the second black source. Obviously, this exposes me a little bit to Sangha, but we do have Beseju. I mean, I agree. That's why I'm still going, but yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm hopefully all things go correctly. I'm hoping to do a big trip where I play Pittsburgh into Four Seasons, into a vacation Europe for a week, into Eternal Weekend Europe, and then even into possibly a TFT LAN event in Macau. So lots of awesome things coming up as long as everything goes well in the coming weeks. All right, so my opponent wastelanded me when I have a Leovold out, which I don't usually recommend doing. Not sure that playing an Oko here is better than playing an Oof. Oh, I'm gonna just turn off this jet. I don't really care if they have a 3-3 at this point in the game. Chat, where would you vacation in Europe for a week? But somewhere between Bologna and Prague. And I've been to most of northern Italy, so where would you go? Belgium is not exactly between those places, but it's close enough that it's, it is doable. And it's in the beginning of December, if that matters. I was thinking Switzerland. I have not really been to Switzerland. Oh, I went to Prague last year. I spent a good couple days in Prague last year, maybe almost a week. So, I want to go somewhere new. I always try to go somewhere new if I can help it. This did slow down my attacking, but my opponent has 4 cards in hand, including a Lurrus. Like, I am not remotely in danger. I feel like I'm in a great spot. Vienna is Austria. Sure, why not? I've never been to there. I definitely want to go somewhere I haven't been. I mean, I could even do 2 cities, really. So... opponent did just make enough mana to play a Lurrus. The problem is I can steal the Lurrus. They have identified the problem, the solution to the problem, which is attack the Lurrus. Or the Oko. That's fine. I'll just let it happen. Like, I could chump block, but I feel like having a Deathray Shaman in play is good too. It's not like they're getting any value by like Lurrusing back a Bauble with a Oof in play anyways. I went to Munich. I went through Munich last year to Prague. We did Munich last year. Let's just keep standing stuff up. Was there a turn I could have stood up my jet? No, I tapped my jet, huh? Just another wasteland is so good here. I mean, my opponent is just getting buried. Is this matchup good? Is the bug matchup versus Lurrus good? Kind of seems like you just have way more powerful cards than they do. I probably should have played a Deathray Shaman here. So yeah, we'll see. I gotta. Yeah, you were right, Sahar. All right. All right, we continue with our real bug deck, round 3. Very counter magic heavy hand. We even have a Bobble Answer. Yeah, for sure. Basic Island Preordain begs us to consider Doomsday. Gonna hold the Mental Misstep for a Dark Ritual, though, especially with Basic Island. Oh, my lord, they have the Mox Jet. We did, of course, open with a Mox, because we are, in fact, Bug. Going to just go Delta Go. I'm not going to show them this Emerald. I might even brainstorm it away. This Flux is almost assuredly going on a blue card for Force. Excuse me. I was worried about Dark Ritual, but oh, whoa, okay. So it's a preordained basic island deck that has Wasteland. I see. Well, we don't have any basics in our deck, so we can't really play around that very much. I don't want to get Hull Breachered either. I'm just gonna wait. No Hull Breacher. Underground Sea. So what are we playing against? What has Preordain in it? What's playing like Preordain over 4 Ponders? Deathrite Shaman. All right. Well, I'm gonna cast this Brainstorm. Need to hit my land drop. Is it Hull Breacher? It's Orcish Bowmaster. Yeah, I guess it's just like Grixis Wheels or whatever. Not really thrilled about this. Guess I have to force it. I wasn't really expecting that one, but blue, blue. Blue, blue. Gush? It's an interesting time to gush. Can't even like draw another black for a second Bowmaster. Don't really like that gush. I don't think this is so important that you have to gush to try to find answers. I feel like if you just like get your Bowmaster forced, you're probably pretty happy. What? Really? Sprite Dragon? I know. Okay, sure, yeah. I mean, whatever. Yeah, I'm not bad in putting Bobble in my deck. No, Wolf is a regular. Just a brewer. Grixis Tinker, I guess. I think I'm gonna cash this in. So their hand is 1 land, 3 unknowns. Time Walk. Sure. I don't really think I'm in a good spot because theoretically they're playing more powerful spells than we are. More preordains, huh? Maybe they're not on Tinker. Maybe they're just on Grixis like cantrip.deck. It's what it kind of feels like. So maybe I'm in. I mean, I'm not in a great spot still. Yeah, but why? I mean, maybe they have Murktide Regent in their deck. Like, what's the reasoning behind? Why would you not play Lurrus? They must have Murktide Regent in their deck, right? Maybe they have Dak Faded in their deck. So Treasure Cruise. Oh, sure hope that this counters it. I mean, we're not in a good spot. We don't have a card advantage. I mean, if we find like a Psychic Frog, then we'll be in an okay spot. I guess we can't play our Psychic Frog because we have an Emerald. One card in my opponent's hand. Sweet. I'm not worried about it. There's just no chance they should be playing Bobble in their deck. It's so bad. It's a deck heavily reliant on force. Play it out now so I can have force. Okay. So it's certainly a game of Magic the Gathering. Activated. I hate Bug, man. This deck is so... Ugh. I don't even have powerful spells to draw into. I don't even have hopes or dreams. No, what the... Come on, man. Please don't steal my emerald. Alright, I guess now if I draw a fetch land, I can just kill the deck Vaden and we're fine. I hate Bug. What's going on? Let me pass the turn. Magic Online, please. Please. I just want to play a game. Play game? Yes. Oh. Okay. It's so good if I could play it. Oh, man. It's Dak Vaden's era. He's back. I mean, I'm dead. I'm dead. Dak is back. Yep. Yeah. God, a Leovold would be so good in play here. This deck is terrible. It's fine. We're 2-0. I was in fact paid to play this deck. True. I don't just like go around registering Bug for fun. Nah, no worries. I'm not worried. You need the money? By all means. Thanks for the support though. Oh. No, Bug doesn't even dream, man. That's the whole point. Ugh. How do we fit, like... I don't want to know, actually. Now I draw my land after it's too late? Alright, how do we play this? Planeswalker comes in. Removal spells come in. Lux goes out. Vigor goes out. Endurance probably comes in. Maybe one oof comes out. I mean, I think Bug is a fine deck. I know why it works. It clearly attacks Vintage in an angle that Vintage is vulnerable, you know? Like it's fine. It's just that's the problem. It's fine. I want something more. I didn't come to play the fine deck. Oh, like this is a bug hand. Like, can you like actually keep this hand? Also, we drew another opening hand with Moxin, by the way. Like, you have like this hand's terrible, right? But if I mulligan this hand, why am I playing the deck? Maybe they'll force this. Please, please force my ooh. Please. No, they looked at my hand for free. They're gonna wasteland us. No! My opponent's black, blue, red creature deck wastelanded us. Well. It's okay, 10 attacks. 2 forces, 10 attacks. I'm playing Delver, baby. Eight attacks, actually, because Cataxia Probe. Ooh, a land. Charge. Some players actually register Bug as their main deck. Crazy, right? You know it's why? It's because they took away all the fun cards in Legacy. Like Oko, Deathrite Shaman. Can't play them. Gotta come to Vintage. If I cast this, I'm gonna get Bowmastered. What? I mean, I have to, right? What? Resolvers? They have Flusterstorm, Pyroblast, Fatal Push. All right, okay. They can free their Moxin whenever they want. They have so many things. so many things. I don't win this counter war, do I? That sucks. That's really unfortunate, actually. Okay, well, what am I gonna do? Not cast the spell? How do I win this game? I can't win this game. They're too value oriented. They're too 1-for-1ing me and casting cantrips and wastelanding me. Oh, this legacy deck my opponent is playing is too strong. No, no, no. I'm dying. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna be fine. Daiju. It's gonna get. Wait. They're out of things. They're out of things. They're out of things. They use their Pyroblast. The frog is safe. What are you doing watching me in Honolulu? It's 1 p.m. Go outside. But also, hi, Sully. Hope you're doing well. Reverse order, Justin. I guess you could technically be watching me on a beach. Brainstorm. Now what? Now what, opponent? It's a frog. Did you consider? Look at this thing's tongue. Uh oh. No, no, snap pyro. No, 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 no. No, not snap pyro. I fight F6. Yeah, it's bad. It's notably bad. Force pitching negation. They might still have Flusterstorm after all this. I just wanted them to get the Pyroblast out of their yard. I mean, I know I'm not winning the fight, so if I thought I could win the fight, I would fight over Snapcaster Mage. But I also just don't care about Snapcaster Mage in play either. I have Fatal Push and Endurance and everything here. Like my opponent had no enforceable in hand, so. Brother, lands, please. There's 19 in my deck. 19. This is a lot worse than Abrupt Decay right now. 19. All right, whatever. I will make them use their Fluster on this. What? Okay. What do I know? Nothing. I know nothing. Oh, I can't play my cards because this land doesn't make green or blue mana. I just want to play the game. Why can't I play the game? Why doesn't my deck want to play the game? Wouldn't it be good for us if we could play the game? No, I can't jam my Brainstorm. They have at least 2 Bowmasters in their deck, and the way they're playing, they just hold the Bowmasters until I cast it, so I can't do it. Also, it's my blue card for Force. This is dig through time on my upkeep. I'll try. I can pay for Fluster. I guess. Some okay, yeah. Uh-huh. Lurrus Breach is a deck you can choose to play if you wanted to play it. I don't really think Bobble is holding it down at all. I think it's just a deck that has variance and power level. They pitched Mox Black Lotus. Dak fade him, baby. All right. I'm going to make the aggressive play of cast Oko. Stand up, my jet. Attack Dak. Is it enough? Did both of us just do nothing? Survey says. Down goes Dak. That's good for the home team. Sprite Dragon. Not so good when you don't have stuff. All right, just this one. Three power, baby. Blue, red, gush. That's really good with Sprite Dragon. We're gonna die. Did my opponent top deck the restricted draw spell on the turn before they were going to die? Might be bad. Couldn't tell you, but might be bad. I do know that it has reach. I'm aware. I was looking to attack my opponent for lethal, to be perfectly frank, but I mean, if they gush and then draw a million cards, maybe this doesn't resolve. I did consider just turning this into an elk. That was a thing I considered doing. I had chose not to do that, but could have done that. Tamio. Okay. I mean, they might have gushed in response, but probably not. I think they drew that for turn. Yeah, but if they play a spell on response, it's like really, really bad. Like they have shown us lightning bolts and things. I guess we'll see if we can get a endurance in here. Maybe this is like worse because like if they force this now, it does more damage to Oko or something. But I feel like it's worth giving it a shot. How many like they could have Pyro? They've already cast. I'm just not gonna do anything with this endurance. I think they have nothing. I'm gonna make the soul read here. They had nothing. All right, well, now I think they're dead. Now they're looking a little dead. If I had a black source, I could go for lethal. Wait, what? We have a spell? God. This is the Bowmaster that's been in their hand the whole game? Oh, it's notably bad for me. Freeze up their mana. Whatever. I don't care. We're gonna get time twisted. Imagine. Get twisted. Oh, shoot the jet. It's kind of interesting. Don't care about the oof. There it is. Gonna double block the jet instead. Oh, right. Makes sense. Makes sense. Sure. Kind of. The answer to that question is a little bit. There are stipulations. Sure. Okay. Another one. Ancestral. That's a good one. And my opponent, when on the brink of death, drew Gush and then Ancestral. What a beast. Love it. Love it. Have I casted Ancestral today, chat? Anyone know? One Ancestral. I remember one Ancestral. We cast a single Ancestral. I think we did once. But it was in the middle of the game at the very last turn after we got twisted, right? DT? Time Walk? What a beast! And then untap? Rebuy Ancestral? Wait a second, chat. They're going off. They're going off. That's true. We've had a lot of starting Moxen. That is true. But that just comes with Bug. If you play Bug, you start with Moxen. That's how it works. Wait, they rebuy Time Walk? No, they rebuy Ancestral. Okay. 7 cards in my opponent's hand, and then they die. All right, yeah. They did draw a lot more cards than me, and you know what? I think that's what really matters here. Leovold? Yeah, but they were playing Pyroblast, and we playing 4 frogs. Like all of our good cards lose to Pyroblast. So you say 3 mana seems like a lot, but you know how much it costs to make a construct? 3 mana. Crazy. We drew a Black Lotus opener for our Oko, and we have our Pyroblast protection. Gotta love it. Tameo? Oh, okay. That's fine. If it was a Tameo, I'd probably misstep it. Yeah. No, it doesn't. Not a shot. Not a shot in the entire world. Really? Interesting choice. I'll go with my Tropical Island because it seems nice. Oh, we're on the Resolving Life. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Basic Planes. Exactly. All right. Well, my turn 1 Oko resolvered. And I got Elk, which means, I don't know. Can we lose? Ah! Sorry, chat. It lagged on me. I was just playing around Bowmaster. Sure. No, I was playing around Bowmaster. I didn't want my Oko to get Bowmaster. No, they would have lightning bolted it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Dag Faden. I'm gonna do the thing where it's kind of greedy to make a food here. It's like really greedy to make a food here, but it's fine. I need that mana. Remember last game where I had no mana? What if they just play another Dag Faden? I guess with a mental misstep, it's not so greedy. Because we have Blast covered. Any IMAC Blasts in chat? That's a throwback. We haven't gotten to use that one in a long time. It just hasn't been the right metagame for it, but... Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't eat with the Death Ray Shaman. But I guess this will just do this in response, so... Yeah, I mean, Frog metagame, Blast, pretty good against Frog. Oh, I mean, on my upkeep. All right, snap that one off. Nope. Never mind, you got it. All right, I stand up this elk. I eat their ancestral. I wasteland their black source. And I attack for 3. And they're at 10 already. Next turn, I'll probably just turn this jet into an elk as well. All right, what you got for me? 6 cards in hand, Wolf. No, they had a bolt. It was fine. Everything's normal. You can see my hand. It's a good one, isn't it? Strip mine. I see. I see. Get it? Okay. Well, I'm gonna stand up this jet. And I'm gonna eat this. Undercity Sewers would be a banger. All right. In the end, Bug is still the ultimate fair deck. Maybe because I played turn 1 Oko. Who knows? Moral victory. Oko down. You did it. Very nice. Very nice. All right, here we go. 3-0 on the play. What do I got? I got... this is not keepable, right? Right? This is not a keepable hand? Or is this a keepable hand? Like, all right, Bug players, chime in. Is this a keepable hand? Like, you have a Counterspell. You have a Daze. You have Wastelands. Like, You don't have any creatures. You don't have any. Like Wasteland's so broken. Like Wasteland is so broken. Let's try. It's for science. Misty Rainforest. Found the Deathrite Shaman. What's the game plan here? Play my magic cards and hope they win. What's the game plan when you play Bug normally? Yeah, I wanted my opponent to have less information on whether or not they should counter my Deathrite Shaman. I mean, it's looking pretty good so far. The game plan is in. We are looking at a solid game. Oh, I think I'm gonna let that one happen. Almost wish I had double Wasteland here. Like if it's Ancestral, we're pretty covered against Ancestral. And if it's Doomsday, we're super good against Doomsday here. Basic Island. Pass? Probably Ancestral then. Deathrite Shaman is pretty nice against Doomsday. Upkeep Ancestral. Hit him with a Pierce. Now what, opponent? Oh. Uh-huh. Oh, it is maybe Oath. Oops. Man, whenever Days works, it feels just evil. It just feels so evil. Imagine playing a format where you could play 4 Dazes. Alright, I should hold up my spells. Yeah, Days is restricted in Vintage. You can only play 1 copy. Trust me. Trust me. Every time I've played more than 1 Days in Vintage, I have not been very happy about it. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I'm going to hit the basic island here. I trust my deck will draw me one of my other wastelands. I believe. I'm just never going to advocate for a Saga restriction unless it's part of a deck that's too good. We've been over this. I think Saga makes for extremely good gameplay, and it is the reason the format is in such a good state. You're allowed to not like the gameplay that Saga produces because it's less vintagey, but that's like not a good enough reason. I don't want to restrict Bobble because I just don't care about Bobble. I think Bobble is not that good of a Magic card. It's fine, you can play it. It has a certain role, and it's good in some bad decks, so it's not a bad thing. Ugh. We have plenty of things we can unrestrict before we go restricting things in a balanced format, a balanced and wide format. And again, this is it. We're no more ban restriction conversation. We outlawed. No more ban restriction conversation. That's it. We're done. Force backup? Really? That's really bad for me. That's so bad for me. Just last cards, show and tell, force backup, Atraxa. That's crazy. Just because I'm stuck with freaking Abrupt Decay in my hand instead of a blue card. Vigor in my hand instead of a blue card. Atraxa, Lotus, Show and Tell, Oath, Tropical. Honestly, that wasn't the worst. If we draw a top deck Oko, we have a chance. So if I leave the Mana Crypt in play, it's 6 down to 3. If they're still gonna have the mana to show and tell, so I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? Oko. It's just not good enough. I hold it in hand so that I can negate their show and tell and then try to draw Oko on the next turn. They go back to 11. I mean, this is still winnable. This is a winnable spot. This is still a winnable spot. I have a counter magic for their show and tell, and then I can draw an Oko for the Atraxa, and then I can win from that spot. This is still winnable. Oko off the top, please. Black Lotus Oko. How much mana do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They just need any mana source. No, there has to be a black, green, blue. It needs to be a black mana source or an orchard. Rog is not a threat to them. One, 2, 3, 4. Need to pitch way too many cards. So I can pitch a card to Frog and then jump Frog. But we're running out of time. All right, they drew the mana to play another Traxa. Okay. Cage, vigor, claim. Maybe grist. This goes away. Consign is probably not good enough. Decay is good. Trophy is good. Oof is just not very good. I mean, it's not terrible though. Yeah, I mean, we have to be able to beat an in-play Atraxa, and we can only do that with our 2 Okos and our Grist anyways, so. I guess it does hit Oath Trigger. It's not very good. It might still be better than Collector Roof, though. It's blue, but just a force. It's not very good, though. I would not consider it very good. Like, I'm not trying to play it if I can help it, but it does seem like it's better than a Collector Roof here, so. I'm boarding in a bunch of cards that are not blue, so. Sand does not have very good mana, but it certainly has a bunch of answers. Sand's really weak to show and tell, though. They have turn 1, 7 mana. Both show and tell, no creature. All right, let's get the frog in play. Yeah, I guess I would keep that against Bug. No way! Very nice. Very nice. Atraxa, Besage, Jet, Time Walk into the Floodmaw. Besage on my cage. Okay, so like technically, I guess they don't have enough creatures to trigger right now. Oh, because I can't get this on the stack. Okay, so I can play a Besage. I can play an Oko and resolve. Oh, but they have a Time Walk. Oh man, but they have a Time Walk. Yeah, yeah, they do. Okay, maybe they don't have enough blue sources. No, they can Besage you off of this Emerald. Okay, you don't get it this time, but if you Time Walk, then you get it. But I still have another Oko. So I don't think it's actually that bad. But I need to keep a Besage for this. Oh. Uh. Oh. No attack is... What? No attack and pass? Okay, I don't know what the hell's going on over there. We have a chance. We definitely have a chance now. Oh, we definitely have a chance now. Okay. So they're gonna bounce my cage. Sure. I mean, they're at some point they're gonna hard cast Atraxa is the problem, but I guess I could swap an Atraxa to get in. I have no business winning this game if I win it, but yeah, they're white 2 lands. They have a mana crypt in hand, so all they need is a white source. So they need to find a Pearl, a Lotus, which they already use Lotus, or a Orchard. If they find an Orchard, they can play a new Atraxa, but I have an Oko still in play. So that doesn't exactly do it. I can use my Oko and take their Elk. That way I can attack with my Frog very easily. Probably am going to do that. Though, what does this fish spell read? So if they draw another fish spell, then that would bounce the Atraxa back to their hand. That's still fine. Save 3 life. Sure. Draw a card, then we brainstorm. Nice. Brainstorm. Nice. You hit the Orchard. Oh, drew a show and tell. Okay. And change sides of the table. I don't want a Deathrite Shaman. Grist. Let's stand up this fish. Attack for 7. Magic Online? Okay. Another Oko. And then black, blue, green, black, blue, wrist. So, like, even if they resolve an Atraxa, I have multiple Planeswalkers to answer an Atraxa, so I think we're still winning from this spot now. Kind of interesting. Huh. Am I supposed to bring in Flusterstorm just for show and tell? I guess I probably am. Weird game. Very weird game. Don't think we were supposed to win that one, but my opponent missed the line of time walk, fish bounce, get into Atraxa. They instead went for the pass the turn, end step bounce, which just wasn't necessary. There's no shot this hand is good enough. They kept 7. These hands are not good enough to beat my opponent's deck. Have my Moxen, but like what? I play a fraud. I mean, maybe this is enough if they don't show and tell me too badly. I mean, really, I needed a 7-card hand that had a force, realistically. I mean, a force off the top, a force of will off the top is pretty good here. Green, black. All right. Force check. Yeah. Sometimes Oath is just 7-card bangers. All right, next one. All right, here we go. 5th and final round. So far, pretty good showing, all things considered. We didn't get there versus Oath, but that can happen even to the best decks. These combo decks sometimes, no matter which combo deck you play against, have the capacity to have a 7-card hand that is just not going to be beaten. Probably pretty liberally cast this consign on an opening Moxen. I don't think I would turn off the Saga's mana. No, I don't think I would do that. I'll definitely hit that, though. Oh, I don't think that's true. I think Bug is, like, really strong. It just lines up well against what's going on in the format. I'm going to do this in an effort to constrain this Saga a little bit. I have my Decay instead of my Trophy, so I can't really hit this Saga. Not a huge deal if this doesn't work out anyways. Like, we do have Mnemonic Tutor. Just go get a Wasteland. They're gonna force? Why? Sure. I what? Ah. Okay. I see. I mean, sure. No! Okay. I see. All right. Just draw the Wasteland off the top and they immediately lose the game. Survey says. Easiest game of my life. Now we did draw another land, though. We only have how many of those left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 15? Could be dicey. Never mind. What do you get? An oof? Oof, there it is. You can still hit another Saga here. It's really good for them, right? Play 5 of the best lands in your deck for a reason. So you can draw them when you need them. Draw a metamorph. Oh, a mana crypt. Bold. Bold. After me, the bug player, demonic tutor, you played a mana crypt? Thank you for your service. I'll see you on the other side of 20 damage. I'm not even gonna play this ancestral recall. I'm gonna play a second oof. God, I love Jewel, man. Beat a null rod challenge, Jewel. Impossible. Impossible. There's like no bigger trap of a deck than Jewel. It's so bad. I can't believe that deck is good. Oh. All right, I got Vigor, Flux, Consign. And then, what do you take out? Everything is good. I don't know what to tell you, man. I think this deck is not good. I mean, you don't play decks to beat good decks. You play decks to beat the most played deck. And the most played deck in the last weekend was... Survey says... 8/8/24. Survey says... Hold on. Come on, dashboard. I believe in you. You're ruining my timing here. Boom! 28 Jewel players with a whopping 48.55% win rate. When you could instead play Lurrus Saga. Don't know why you would do that, but... Anyways. A lot of bad pilots. Sure. Whatever you say. Abrupt Decay looks kind of bad. What else? Mental Misstep is pretty bad. Taxium Probe is probably not necessary. Does Trophy do anything? I feel like it's not actually good. This hand is interesting. It's not exactly what we're looking for, but I don't feel like it's... You don't feel like you can put this back. I don't think this hand is, like, great, but it's definitely within the range that I would keep. With Wasteland... I mean, Jewel does it all the time. and chat seems to think that's a great one. So. Ancestral is in Jewel to get pitched to Force. Grim Monolith, 6 mana. 6 mana, turn 1. Send it. Oh, Vexing Bobble got us. You got it. Got a ring? I don't really think a ring is enough here. I'm pretty okay with them playing a ring, right? Like, they play a ring, I play a C, I cast Ancestral, and then I untap and play Oof. And they can't counter it. Like, it might be a turn slow, we'll see. But they don't have, like, a lot of mana. Like, is this actually a bad spot? This doesn't really look like a bad spot. You think they're gonna kill me right here? I don't think they're gonna kill me right here. If they drop their Bobble, I can Ancestral and have Force up. I just don't think Bobble is good. And I don't really see this being a problem. I'm just gonna ring them and they're gonna oof them and they're gonna die. Like if they have a Saga exactly right now, that's pretty good because it takes me a turn to play oof and then a turn to play Wasteland. So they'll get one construct, which we can beat one construct, but it's like it's something. Because I don't think I can give them 3 more cards, you know? I mean, they can't time walk because their only blue mana comes out of... I don't know. This just looks terrible for them. Like, uncounterable, turn off your entire board besides Saga, untap, Wasteland your Saga, and I have to beat 1 creature. Oh, yeah, if I do Time Walk, it would actually be game over. True. I mean, they can crack both their baubles here and try to draw Force, but I have Forces. Okay, so they're going to play entirely on Saga. I mean, if they have, like, a second Saga, maybe that's enough. I don't think I need a land if I have a Loam. Like, they do have a big construct here, but they also are taking 2 damage, 2 damage a turn, plus Ancient Tomb activations. And I have creatures. Creatures are not a problem. I don't know. I just don't believe in what's happening from my opponent's side of the table. Oh, I guess I could have hit this Ancient Tomb instead. I don't know. Maybe that would have been better. I'll play out a frog because a frog threatens lethal here if they attack me. It also just is lethal no matter what, even if they attack me or don't attack me. Yeah, I mean, they're just dead. They can't beat a Null Rod. The deck cannot beat a Null Rod. And Vexing Bauble does not solve that problem. I don't know. Playing Vexing Bauble is just trapping yourself and dying. There's just it's combining 2 things I don't believe in: Jewel, Jewel, and Bauble into the same deck. Don't get it. It's just making your deck even more all in, which is not Jewel's problem. Jewel's problem is consistency, not power. Well, the thing is, like, maybe they could have gone Saga, get a needle on my frog. Right? Like, I don't know. I could be convinced that Ancient Tomb was a better Wasteland target there. There's definitely upsides to both. Like, you want your Jewel deck to become less of an Oops All Spells deck and more of an Esper Tinker deck. But you want to, like, try to maintain your Oops All Spells power and start getting some of the consistency of a real deck, but... Agreed. I think Sync is a great addition. I think Sync is one of the best possible additions the deck could have ever asked for, really. Let's just go loan back my Wasteland. Yeah, I mean, it makes the deck have almost an acceptable blue count. I mean, it's acceptable. It's just, it's not good, but it's like good enough. Like before, it was not acceptable. Oh, I can just discard some cards. Discard a card. I mean, I'm never going to get to use these forces because they lock themselves underneath Vexing Bauble. So... I can't win right now. So... Oh, I can win because the ring. So let's discard more cards. I need to deal 7 damage. Boom. All right. Just losing to the Oath Nut Draw. We did lose all 3 games to Oath realistically. My opponent missed like a winning line. But overall, I mean, this deck is really powerful, and if I mean, it's not really powerful. It's really strong. It's really good in the meta. It is not really powerful, but I do think that Loam Frog is really powerful. I would not play Bug without Loam Frog. Loam Frog gives you like this very powerful combo almost, that lets you close out a game very quickly. I really liked Frog, obviously, but I loved the Loam. The Flux didn't really come up, but that's okay. Oko looked great. Leovold looked okay. Decay and Trophy both had spots where they would be good. I don't know which one of those is better. That's definitely something that's above my pay grade. Daze was fine. Oof was great. Consign did do something. I don't know if it was enough to be worth it. Spell Pierce was also a little wishy-washy, but it did have a couple good moments. It was definitely better than Flusterstorm would have been in that spot. Oh, I just think like it's actually good against everyone, Jordan. Like it's good against like all these people playing Sphere Shop. It's good against Jewel. It's good against Saga, like Lurrus Saga. I think it's totally fine against Lurrus Saga. And then when it's bad, it pitches to Frog and Force. I just think like you're one of the few decks that can get to like actually use it and play a very, very strong card like Energy Flux and like not have any significant drawback to doing so. So that's kind of one of the things that Bug is really cool, that I find cool about Bug, is you can play some of these weird cards like Energy Flux, Seeds of Innocence. Like there's some high power blue, black, and green cards that don't see play, but you can play in this deck. So I'm not saying that you have to play Flux or that Flux is the best thing here, but like I would even consider something like Pernicious Deed. Obviously, our deck is like pretty weak to Pernicious Deed, so maybe you can't get away with playing Pernicious Deed because you have too many creatures. But like these kind of cards, like Deed and Flux, and these 3-drop Bug enchantments, like I always think they're worth thinking about when you make the deck. Nature's Claim was fine. Grist didn't really come up. Everything seemed fine. I wasn't really super upset with everything. The Vigor, I don't even know if you want to play Vigor right now. I like being able to Demonic Tutor for the first copy, though. So I think the first copy makes sense still. I do wonder if you're supposed to play Vampiric Tutor in this deck, just to have additional toolbox. The Frogs, I still wish this deck could play Ponder, but maybe you just can't play Ponder. Frogs just fit, like, kind of do a Ponder impression. I still find that there are spots where this deck is not converting its middle and early game advantage into a win, and I just don't know. So no, that's not a way. Like that's just a single way of thinking about it. You don't have like you can still make your turn 1.5, turn 1, turn 2 combo deck more consistent without sacrificing power. That's the whole point. The whole point of Sync is the fact that your deck now can consistently cast Force of Will and cast blue spells, and you haven't given up any power. And I don't even think that Lurrus and Frog are problems. The problem is the deck can't beat a Null Rod. But like Sync actually helps there. It actually makes your deck better against Null Rod. It's not good enough, but it makes it better. Anyways, thank you to Mitchell, longtime supporter of the stream, who made me go out of my way and play a meta deck that is strong. One that I don't normally play on my own because it's not really my style. But obviously, you know, with the league we played tonight, clearly demonstrates the power and the reason people do choose to play Bug and win with it, especially in the most recent metagames. If you want to see your deck played on this channel, make sure to check out the Patreon link in the description below, where you can find all the information you need to submit a donation deck list. More vintage content on this YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will see you then.